Welcome to the group.
Welcome to the group.
Welcome to the group.
Welcome to the group.
Disclaimer. The content of this video is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. While some hosts and guests featured in this video may be licensed therapists, the discussions reflect personal experiences and opinions and are not a substitute for professional advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Viewers experiencing mental health issues or needing support should seek guidance from a qualified professional. Viewer discretion is advised, as the video may contain content related to sensitive topics such as mental health, self-doubt, and personal challenges. By watching this video, you agree that the creators and participants are not liable for any decisions or actions taken based on the content of this video. Always consult a professional for advice tailored to your specific situation. Welcome to the group.
You cook on your table is the stove.
That's a hot plate.
I don't know why you go to a restaurant to cook your own shit, but basically, they think it's cute when you cook your own shit.
So tell them you don't cook your own wings.
No, you don't cook the
That
wing.
is true, though.
You cook everything else. So what's good, sir? How was your integrity this week? You went to the gym?
Nope.
Nice. I get a haircut.
Sure. I'm focused on getting money right now.
Still got to keep your word to yourself, homie.
Nigga, my rent right now is my word.
She raised it?
No, but I gotta pay my bills and shit, bro. Like,
What do you have to do with the weed? That takes your time.
I've been doing my job here, getting this shit ready. It takes time,
I don't like your tone. I didn't deserve your sarcasm.
but you know how it goes.
No, I didn't know that.
I don't want to like talk about it too much.
No,
here, 'cause
yeah.
it's
I didn't
like-
know that it required time on a daily basis. I thought you just had to wait for it to be ready, and then the time comes with the snipping.
Exactly, and that's what I've been doing.
All right, we're not talking about it. It was too many details.
That's what I've been doing for the past week.
Oh, I didn't know that's what you were up to. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. So I come out of work, boom, I do this shit. I've even taken days out of work so that just so I can fucking knock this shit out.
Oh, wow.
If I keep doing it little by little, what, I'm gonna get 2, 3, 4 hours the most I need to put in time.
How many hours a day?
Like 8.
Whoa. Fuck out of here. That's a lot. By yourself, too? No company?
You got it, buddy.
That's fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. I'm sorry I'm eating. I was hungry. I had a long day.
Okay.
That's rude, though. So talk to me, sir. What's been popping this week? Anything you learned? Anything you noticed about yourself? Besides the sacrificing for money?
I got some new clothes.
And for the record, I haven't been going to the gym either, so I'm a piece of shit.
I got some new clothes. That's good. I've just been chilling. I've been focused on this. I've been focused on making sure I get my bills paid right now. Making sure I secure this bag so that so I can get my bills paid. And then so I can have some extracurricular activities, hopefully. If I move this fast enough.
I'm scared to
But
ask.
yeah, before we do that, hey everybody, welcome to the show. My name is Victorious. I'm 36. I'm currently dealing with a bunch of mental issues as far as isolation, borderline depression. I mean, that's what I think anyway. And the way I am helping make this better is by having conversations with my homie right here who is eating chicken right now. And I'll let him take it away. Go, Louis.
My name's Luis Rodriguez. I am 48. Since we attain age, fuck it. Normally say 50, but I'm gonna say 48, my true age. And I've been in the mental health field for about 20 plus years. And I love supporting these conversations. Let's get started.
Awesome. Oh, before we do that, please, we opened up the emails. Write to us. Let us know. We are in, and I don't mean to whatever, but we are trying to give people very, very, very affordable. What is it? The very affordable. I don't want to use this, I don't want to use the T word, but life coaching advice that you can utilize, which is kind of borderline therapy. But yeah. So please write to us. I will put the information in the caption. Send us an email, and then hopefully, we can open up a hotline and all that extra good stuff. Let's go.
I saw that in the post. Let's go. That's the braiding guy. Anyway,
Who?
there's a guy that braids. He does let's go, but he don't know English, so you just sounded like him.
Nice.
So I just started a new job, so I apologize for being a little distracted. But how you been this week? You said good, peace, chilling. You got focused on the bread, cool, and then you sacrificed your own integrity for this fight for finances. The consequence was a free haircut, but in this context, it doesn't really. It's not really fun because I'm not trying to change the way you're thinking. I'm trying to now have a conversation with you about your willingness to sacrifice you for things like the bag. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, that was a whole jamming in there.
How often do you notice, or do you notice, that you sacrifice for something that you find to be more important? Because rent is every month, so you made it urgent and sacrifice yourself something unique for some reason. So I'm curious to know how, if it's a habit or if it's something else.
But the thing is that now by me speaking on that,
We don't have to
Well-
get specific of what you're doing. I'm just concerned about
I
your,
mean, you're saying in other scenarios or this specific scenario?
just in habit in general, sacrificing your own personal, like your
It all
self-care.
depends on the scenario. If the scenario calls for a faster moving approach, then that's what I got to do. If the scenario calls for me working, regular hours, etc., then I'll do that. But in this scenario, require me to move at a certain pace because, yeah, it has a shelf life. So yeah,
So there's no way to have it all. You have to sacrifice you for that.
that's life.
No, it's not. So
Yes,
I'm
it
asking,
is.
it's
An
not.
action equals a cause. So then, by you doing an action, you get the result. And this is what I'm doing. I'm causing this action so then I can get a result.
I got that. And you could also have it all with the concept of having integrity. So I'm curious to know, again, specifically, the sabotaging of whatever your self-care is supposed to be a priority. And we're in the middle of creating these conversations to have self-care be a priority. Nothing's wrong. I'm not saying nothing happened wrong.
Sounds like you're telling me something's wrong.
I got that. And that defensiveness came up and I noticed it. So I'm explaining it. There's nothing wrong with the autopilot perspective on how it used to happen. But in the conversation of I'm dealing with isolation and depression and all this other stuff, I'm trying to have a conversation so that you can realize that there is no need to sacrifice you for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They're both priorities. It doesn't take one over the other. It just might feel better to sacrifice you for the big picture, more responsible goal in your mind, more responsible. I'm trying to just change the dialogue you have in your head to have them all be just as deserving of responsibility.
I get that, but this is the journey that I'm on financially, that when it comes to financial things, that takes the front seat because I have to take care of things. Again, I can't
Why do you have the sacrifice being with the finances? Why is the sacrifice either for some, you either sacrifice?
because I feel like what you're saying is basically like I can have it all and then have my cake and eat it too in a way where it's like I can kind of just be like chill about it and and go about my regular shit and not have to focus so much energy on the task.
No, I didn't mean to make it. Or
It sounded like that to me. Like where when you said, where you don't have to sacrifice, you can still have it all.
You can, and I didn't mean I didn't mean anything but the integrity to what self-care was for you and the pursuit of the introduction, which is fighting isolation and what the rest of the stuff. The way to do that is to keep your word to your self-care. It could be simply watching a show for 20 minutes that makes you laugh, whatever the fuck your goal was to outdo whatever comes natural. Having a conversation now about the simple, the way you're so simple with sacrificing it is what we're trying to discuss so that it's no longer so simple and you have it all. Whether you sacrifice the hour at the gym for a half hour, but you still went to the gym. Whether you sacrifice eating healthy as much as you wanted for something boring, but you still kept your integrity and then you allowed yourself to build on it. Because now what has to happen this week is we're starting all over again. for the sacrifice. So in order for you not to start all over again, you just find ways to make adjustments so you can still have your integrity, but not sacrifice the old school habit way. So for the sake of conversation, how would it have looked like? Could you have created where all of it was happening?
I would say by by I mean by making it fit and like doing it. That would have been the only.
And what would that have been for you? What would that have felt like for you, in your opinion?
I have no fucking clue. Again, I was super fucking like laser point. I gotta get this fucking shit done. You know what I mean? This needs focus on right now, because then I don't have to focus on this shit for another couple of weeks.
Got it. And while you were growing up, just side question, when you were growing up, did you ever get disappointed that somebody else prioritized something else besides yourself, besides you?
Maybe, but not that I can sit here and say that was the reason.
Right. But the fact that there's a maybe means that there's a memory of it, but you don't have specifics. It just became a natural behavior to justify
But
that.
wait, what was it? What was the question again?
Do you have any type of subconscious or conscious memories of sacrifices happening against you by the adults in your life?
But what do you mean sacrifice? It like in what sense?
Like they promised you something and then, no, we're not going to go because this is more important. Or you needed school clothes and they bought themselves something else, whatever it
Oh
was.
yeah, well, I used to get that shit from my dad all the time. He'll be like, "Yo, we're gonna." Oh no, but it was more like you weren't deserving because you didn't do this shit or you didn't meet up to a certain standard. Is that that or no?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, that's fine. So that started the beginning conversation of you justifying or allowing for that no longer to sting and be okay with sacrificing against yourself. Those types of memories. See, what happens is sometimes
Thanks,
when,
Dad.
and now it's thanks Fayez. And it doesn't have to be where your version of manhood is repeated when the version that you learned that you didn't like.
Okay.
So the
I
first
mean, I've
one,
always felt like growing up, I was creating my own path. It wasn't like I was learning things from my parents and then utilizing those skill sets so that I can survive in New York.
no, that's not what I'm saying. But there's still a learning of the identity you have. You're born into the role of son. You can't. That's the one you can't change as a forced role on you. And the way
Well,
you,
what if I want to transition and then I could be daughter? No,
but until
continue.
you make that decision,
Continue. I'm being an asshole.
but that's the reality in 2024. So I get it.
Okay.
But the role you picked was a child. Let's say. I got something in my tooth.
The role that was assigned to me.
Whatever. But in order for you to work on concepts like depression and isolation, we have to outdo what comes natural. And what
Okay.
comes natural, the dialogue I'm trying to create so that you can have clarity, it's just a dark spot. So I'm putting light on it so that we can choose to navigate around it, not necessarily be offended that it exists. I'm just saying, if it brought you happiness and it's something that's good for you and you big picture want to change, the little baby steps are going to bring you to a complete goal, right? Sacrificing those baby steps has you start all over again. You don't pick up where you left off. So it makes it harder to keep those self-care type of things that you learned because you have to start over every time you give up on it and then start again and then give up on it and start again. It just changes the ability for it to be something where it comes natural, where you're choosing you. And I'm not better. It's not you. I could work out. Like I wake up at 5 in the morning to then leave at 7:45 to be at work by 9. In that morning, I'm sitting chilling, watching the news, drinking coffee because I like to wake up. I could easily do some push-ups, but I don't.
Aren't you?
Because I also have an unworthy and unlovability about myself, so it's easy for me to keep it in secret. The difference is we both decided to work on something, so with the camera on, we're going to tell on ourselves so we can choose not to do it. For no other reason than the fact that you watch yourself sacrifice on yourself, not because somebody else is here, not because it matters. And you ate sloppy, so I'm getting a haircut, so fuck that.
Yay.
But the fact
Feel
that
better.
it doesn't help me take the haircut, so it's no longer fun because you're okay with sacrificing it. Nothing's wrong
Huh.
with the defenses. But if the goal is to actually heal and grow from the isolation and depression, you kind of need to notice that you're doing it to yourself and with a smile on your face, having a reason for it.
I get that, but does it not make it better the fact that I am aware of it and
Oh, let
no?
me. Of course not.
So it's better to be in denial?
They're both the same. You could just articulate that it sounds better, but it didn't have any different results in your life. They're both just talking points. We could talk about cow shit, and it would have the same exact effect on your happiness and your isolation and everything else. It doesn't serve a purpose. This isn't about intellectualizing it. This is about changing behavior that's making you isolated and depressed. Not changing their thought pattern. You're a smart motherfucker. You can think whatever the fuck you want to think. But choosing it is what's hard because it doesn't come as a graspable thing. It seems so far away. Finances took a precedence over happiness. This took precedence over happiness. Your happiness is the reason why we talk is to create your happiness as a priority
Well, happiness took a little break this week.
by choice, and we're discussing
Well, yeah.
the formula that had you choose it. You can get as mad as you want, which is part of the resistance. Which is probably why it's. If you did this to me, I'd feel the same way you do. Right
I don't
now.
even think the word is mad. It's just more like,
It's mad because I'm gonna choose it to be mad because I'm gonna mirror the fact that you matter more than you're mattering to yourself at the moment. Does that
okay.
make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So not only did you give up going to the gym because you had to take care of blah blah blah, you also gave up cooking for yourself and taking care of yourself. And cool. So how do you, if you're not, how? Basically, what you did was sacrifice any type of positive company, and you fed isolation.
If you say,
Say isolation hurts your feelings, and it's something you don't like.
I mean, but at this point of isolation, it wasn't like I was just sitting there thrilling my thumbs and shit. I
Yeah,
was
I didn't say
actually doing the
bored.
task.
I didn't say bored. I said isolated.
I guess it depends on what it's coupled with, whether it be boredom or yeah. Then that's an interesting scenario that the isolation won't technically be an issue if it's not coupled with boredom.
Bullshit. That sounds really good intellectually to justify.
I mean, that's what it sounds like, because if it's then coupled with the task that I have at hand, which is to fucking make sure that I get my bills and X, Y, and Z, then it becomes coupled with a necessity and a task. So
But I'm not.
then,
But I'm not saying either you're important or the bills are important. That's how you see it for
hold
someone.
on, you're saying that I'm important,
I'm saying that
and
they're
I need
both
to
important.
clarify that and
No,
not
no,
put.
no. I'm saying they're both as important. And for some odd reason, you made yourself not important. I didn't. And now you're justifying it by the fact that it needed to have. Blah, blah, blah. So how do you want to work on this conversation of working on integrity? How am I going to be effective when you just introduced me as this person that's going to support isolation and support these things when your integrity and your word means nothing to you about you?
Well, man, I know, dude. That's what we call life right now, and
Oh, stop saying that. That's what you've called life, which is what led to these conversations. We're trying to get it to it's not what you call life. Even if you went to the gym for 5 minutes, the pride in saying, I kept my word to myself means a lot.
I think that's pointless going to the gym for 5 minutes.
I think it's more pointless to sabotage any type of
Because if
ability.
I'm gonna go to the gym, I might as well go to the gym.
I think it's pointless to sabotage any progress because when people mistake in this conversation a change, that change is a process. And whenever you let the change monster get the best of you, your change monster is necessity, apparently. Whenever you let the change monster stop you, you start all over again. You don't pick up where you left off. And
But
that's
I'll
why.
get better at doing this task. I'll get better.
At what task?
I'm starting all over again.
No, you won't. That's a figment of your imagination. That is not a reality. That's not you. That's what everybody thinks when they're making excuses for themselves. And I'm trying.
But I'm not making excuses for myself.
Nigga, you just.
I'm being open about the fact that I'm fucking up. So hey,
I didn't say you fucked up either.
What the fuck? So then what the?
I didn't call you names. I didn't make
That's
it okay.
true. You're right.
I didn't do none of that. So
You're
in
right.
trying to defend this conversation,
But I'm not defending it. I'm agreeing with you.
I am.
Oh, my bad. Okay, continue.
So in trying to defend my stance and having integrity on my side, since you
You're-
want to be a big shit with yourself.
You're right. You're right.
No, I'm not my wife. You don't have to be right because I'm not feeding you. What I'm saying is, for the sake of honoring you, I'm posing an argument to what you thought was simple. Right? Make sense?
All right, continue.
Cool. I'm gonna word it different since you like money. If this was a session that you paid for, we'd cancel it in 5 minutes and you still paid.
I understand that.
Why? If money is important to you, why would you give away your integrity, your financial like standard? Why would you give that away? It's kind of like
I feel like if I could then
don't cut me off. It's kind of like a busted bitch with a fat ass, busted, face neck up, looks like that, but from the neck down, crazy, and has something, but she's like, you have to hit it raw, and you ain't had no pussy in a whole year. Would you throw your health? Would you throw your whatever away to take it?
if I know, then no. What the fuck? Like,
You know that it brings you unhappiness. You know that it's unhealthy. You know it's everything you don't want, and you did just that. You put your dick in some ugly bitch with a disease, and you're like, fuck it, I'll just go get cream. And justify it with, this is what I had. I had
yeah,
no
but no, I
Yes!
didn't. No,
Yes!
hell no.
Okay, how no?
Then you're referencing to a long life scenario that now is going to bite me in the ass for a decision I made in a moment, right?
No.
The fact that I didn't go to the gym is not going to now fucking give me some illness that's gonna
HPV
stay
is
with me for
curable.
life.
You just got HPV. It's light. It's curable. It's not a big deal. If you get it two or three
I'm
times.
sorry, my bad. I
If
thought
you
it
get
was
it 2 or 3 times.
I thought it was one of the big ones.
Oh, not a big deal because it's just HPV? Got it. That's it. That's got it.
No. The way you made it seem was like it was some not the way you made it seem, but the word when you explained it, it sounded like we were bringing the ultimatum up here.
Not at all. Regular.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like, I don't like my dick to have bumps even if I could cure the bumps. So I don't play those games. Ever. Even if I'm thirsty. You wasn't even thirsty. You just sacrificed and is okay with that. So I'm trying to use a different analogy so you can get what you're doing to yourself.
Okay.
But you're making a face. Help me. It's kind of like,
I don't see it that way, but okay, I get it.
I get it. So I didn't do a good enough job yet explaining that it's exactly the same. But you didn't see it that way yet, and it makes sense. So it's okay to shit on yourself because you didn't see it that way yet. Okay, so let me do a better job. If you went to jail for 20 years and you were straight as fuck, let's say, if you had to suck a dick and deal with regular jail life and make that male a female because whatever jail culture you got, cool. If you came out and one day bumped into that dude while you were with your girl, what would you do?
Hey, what's up, man?
Bullshit. He's like,
Take
yo,
care
you
now.
in jail. You was my bitch in jail. I was your bitch in jail in front of your wife.
Babe, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Cool. He's convincing as fuck, looks believable as shit, and you turn red in the face, and she's like,
got fucking footage now, the whole shit, and he's like, yeah, I got fucking the camera recorded. Like,
you don't need footage if you looks true.
I mean, if that was the case already, because that's what you're saying. I've already went to jail. I already sucked a dick. I'm out with my girl. Boom. I mean, what? I'm supposed to fucking be upset at what happened now? Like, fucking, what the world will like eat me up and shit?
90% of men that do 10 or more years in jail that actually happens to, and a good 70% go back to jail because nigga don't talk to me. That was when we was locked up.
Yeah, that was some wild trauma on their case. Yeah. I mean, I can't really answer that question though either because I really want to know how I would react towards it.
You do. You have an imagination and you're very smart. You just don't want to because it's going to incriminate you into justifying the fact that you shitted on yourself and basically.
Yeah, but you're saying that I already sucked a dick, so it's like, what the? How much more worse can it get after the we meeting there and whatever and like?
So you're already miserable and isolated and depressed, and it's not
I
a big deal.
guess, yeah, I
It's
guess
not a
so.
big deal.
Like,
So
I
what's the point?
guess.
You're right. You got it. Now I didn't know. I didn't know that it didn't matter whether it changed or not. I didn't realize that you got a chance to now be with your wife and kids, for the sake of the analogy. I didn't realize that now that you're free, the man that you see yourself as is the man you're living into. I didn't realize that you're still going to go back into when you were forced to do the best you could with the circumstances you had. Now that the circumstances have grown, you would think you would want to take advantage of the more opportunities you have. You would think that it would make it easier for you to get past the mentality that it was forced you to be. But you're right. Dudes that do a long bid have a very hard time changing habits. You're 1,000% correct. They still piss sitting down. They still make the same jail food because it's something that was a part of their culture. Isolation and depression don't need to be the same as doing a long bid just because it's familiar. I didn't say you did anything wrong with sacrificing for bills, but you didn't need to be the sacrifice. If you felt ridiculous only going to the gym for 5 minutes, then feel fucking ridiculous keeping your word to yourself and find ways to sacrifice and doing 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But at least you're tripping forward for yourself. You ever walked up the stairs and tripped forward? Well, when
Yeah,
you do,
yes, yeah.
trip forward in your life instead of tripping backwards. So with this, it's important because the goal, in order for you to heal from the habit, the fact that you're desensitized to what caused you to be isolated and depressed, the opposite extreme has to start happening where you're sacrificing for yourself and your soul, your spirit, your core, whatever the fuck you want to call it, actually believes you that you're first. You're a priority. That's the only way isolation and depression are going to change. There's no bill, there's no responsibility in the world that takes precedence over your responsibility. Integrity is 100%. It isn't 95, 99. It's 100%. Nothing exists nothing has integrity that doesn't have 100% of it. So for the sake of this conversation, okay, it's important, like really important for you to
I'm
understand.
agreeing with you. I don't know. I'm just having one of those weeks.
There's nothing wrong with that. I would like you to have
Sounds
conversations.
like you're saying something's wrong with it.
I'm trying to get you to realize that there's more that could have been done. I'm not saying anything's wrong except for what you said you don't like and what you said you don't want. I'm fine with you depressed. I'm fine with you isolated and miserable. I think you're a cool ass dude. You find ways to be polite, respectful. You find ways to present yourself positive. When you go back to being alone, you might be miserable. But when you show your face, you're a nice motherfucking guy to chill with. So I'm just reminding you, when you're around company, the best version of you comes up. When you're alone, I would like to remind you that the best version is still there and you can choose it. That's all I'm doing. Keep getting a fucking attitude with me. There's no reason for that. But in the loving conversations that I'm trying to have, forget the fact that we're on a podcast. As my man, why would you choose isolation and depression for the bag? When nigga, you gonna get the bag. You a hustler. You always get the bag. You just don't like something.
I don't feel the, how can I put it to you, the inspiration enough to give that a proper answer, because I'm just right now, I'm just like, it sounds great and everything. It sounds like, oh, the secret and keep it in and da 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 and like, but you know what? Fuck that shit right now. I'm a little, I'm more focused on like the reality that is like slapping me in the face right now. So
no one's ever going to send us emails and no one's ever going to reach out to us because we are exactly what they are, which is nothing more than what they want. They want nothing more than to be right. I'm isolated. Let me keep being isolated. Fuck, I'm going to call these niggas for. So you're right. There's no point in doing anything different because fuck it. There'll be a reason tomorrow to give up. You're right. Cool. So
no, I wouldn't say that. I just feel like that's what I'm feeling at the moment.
So why are people calling when those moments exist? Why would you want to put yourself on camera justifying that those moments still exist when the point of the camera being in your face is because they no longer exist?
That's yeah, but I'm not also going to fucking sit here and like start creating this whole like, oh yeah,
I didn't say to do any of that yet.
But then that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like.
If shut the fuck up and stop spinning it that way. You're making it feel that way so you can justify quitting. Because in this conversation, what you want to do is to stop talking about it.
I'm agreeing with you.
No, you're not agreeing with me. You're not understanding me. You're intellectually trying to understand it, but you're not understanding me. Try to understand me. Try to open yourself up to understand me instead of just intellectualizing it. Okay? It's helpful. But why the fuck would you want a camera in your face on a Friday evening when nothing's different than on a Wednesday, Tuesday, or Monday of last year?
Because such is life.
No, it's not. Such is life for regular niggas on autopilot. What the fuck we got cameras for in our face?
Because we're recording the experience.
Of being regular? No! I don't watch niggas being regular, nigga. I watch them do things that I couldn't have done. Movies are great because a long time ago, nigga, I would have been dead. That nigga kept going. Wow, let me watch it. We ain't worthy of watching. They turned off the show.
Sorry.
And that's okay? Fuck everybody. Say it. Fuck all the viewers. I don't give a fuck about y'all niggas. Just love me.
I mean, we don't have that many viewers right now, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm a viewer, and I consider it like 1 million people. So fuck you. Just let it be about me, and I didn't want to this week. I'm just a reminder, sir, that you deserve.
Yeah. I got it.
And I'm not better, because I didn't work out. I feel like a fat sack of shit. I've been eating too much sugar, and apparently that makes me constipated, so I walk around with a big swollen stomach. My job itself is great, but it's exhaustingly overwhelming because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I absolutely could have done better, but I didn't, and the gym is downstairs. So I'm a big sack of shit. And both of us today are regular people with no reason to be on camera. Yes, sir, that's a finger. I see the finger. What happened?
All right, hold your thought, and we're gonna go to the next one.
All right, pick up where we left off, sir. So normally, this is why people don't like therapeutic conversations, because it almost feels combative and argumentative. Just listen. Not from you, from me. Not from you, from me.
Oh, I'm fine with it. I'm not expecting myself to be super hunky dory every goddamn week either. Like,
We
I'm
ain't
a
talking
normal
about
person.
happiness. I'm not talking about happiness. I'm talking about
What's the word you
integrity.
using? Yeah, and I don't expect
I
my
got
integrity.
nothing to do with enjoying the process.
I don't. My integrity isn't. I don't even know how to answer that.
Right.
But yeah,
So,
all right, cool.
right, because you haven't practiced the bullshit. Right, good. So the performance triangle is simply a reminder of the way it's supposed to be designed. So let me give you an exercise for a second, as if this was a training class. Please provide me with 10 reasons why you find something to be too cold. Please use your imagination to, however stupid they sound, to give me 10 reasons why something's too cold. Go.
Temperature. The feeling of my hands. The fact that I can see my breath. Snow. What else?
Faster.
What else?
Faster.
Huh?
Faster.
Okay, my bad. Ice. Precipitation. Let me see.
Hurry up.
Frozenness.
Cool. Let's go. Three more.
What do you mean? Whatchamacallit? Stiffness.
Cool. No jacket.
Oh, I guess. All right, cool.
AC too
Jacket,
high.
a scarf, motherfucking a hat.
Great. 10
AC.
reasons. 10 reasons why people get sad. Go.
Death, love, happiness, money, porno, alcohol, drugs, life, bills, the police.
10 reasons why people experience happiness. Go.
Oh, it's important.
Go. It's my daughter. She has to call me back to back before I
Pick up, fool.
No, go.
All right, happiness.
Yes.
Food, art, music, love, emotions, sex.
So what do you think I'm doing?
I don't fucking know. You're
Cool. 10 reasons why people wear sweaters. Go.
No, I'm not
Go.
doing it. No,
You have to. You have to.
no. I don't fucking know. People wear sweaters because they're cold. That was the
I actually
beginning.
said Integrity is And the exercise of integrity is the question was 10 things, 10 reasons why people wear sweaters. Go.
Oh, it's just
Right.
pointless.
Your opinion is that it's pointless, but I asked. So it no longer is pointless because the person that's right in front of you is asking. So again, 10 reasons why people wear black sweaters. Go.
Because they love black sweaters.
Uh-huh.
Black is cool.
Uh-huh.
They love black.
So just 3. 5 reasons why people have a mustache.
Because they're rapey.
What do you think I'm doing so far, sir?
I have no clue.
Cool. 10 reasons why people brush their teeth.
Because their breath stinks.
Mm-hmm.
They have bad teeth. They have gingivitis.
10 reasons why people are sad.
Because they are.
Stop me whenever you figure out what I'm doing.
I don't fucking know what you're doing. So how am I
try
supposed
to figure it out? You could try to figure it out because it's
You're
easy.
asking me 21 questions. Is what you're doing?
I didn't ask you 21 of anything. 10 reasons why people smile.
All summing it up is 21 questions.
It's not 21 questions at all. It's reasons.
Okay.
So give me 5 reasons why you wear t-shirts.
Because I don't like to show my titties. Because if the people don't just not wear a shirt. Shirts feel good.
5 reasons why people grow beards. What do you think?
They like facial hair.
As soon as you discover what I'm doing, we can stop.
So I guess we're gonna be here for another half an hour. Like,
let's do it then. Why do 10 reasons why people
does the
clean
camera
their ears?
keep switching that way? All right.
10 reasons why people clean their ears.
Because they have junk in their ears, like Q-tips. They just like the sensation of fucking something in their ear. They enjoy looking at their fucking yucky shit in their hands and putting it in their mouth.
5 reasons why people masturbate.
Because they're horny. They have testosterone. Because they have bad relationships with sex.
5 reasons why people
want to go blind.
5 reasons why people's feet stink.
Huh?
5 reasons why people's feet stink.
Bacteria, athlete's foot, ingrown nails, just not fucking washing your feet.
So you're willing to keep playing this game. We're gonna keep going. And you're okay with that.
Okay.
You're not supposed to be okay with it, but we're gonna keep going.
I don't know what the fuck you're doing, so how am I supposed to know?
So you just give up? You're not supposed to know. You're supposed to experiment and try. But keep
That's
going.
what I'm doing. I'm continuing with the experiment.
No, you're going just to go to play like devil's advocate. You're not trying. If this cost you $750 and we had a half hour left, we're playing a fucking reason.
If I had the money, I would have just been like, "Hey, man, enjoy that. I gotta get back to work."
And I wouldn't have let you. I would. That's not how it works. So we're still having.
Am I supposed to also then fucking drive myself
You're
crazy
supposed to
because
let me be in charge and you answer the questions that I'm asking? Simple.
Okay.
5 reasons why people get shape ups.
Because they have bad shape ups. They don't go to proper barbers. They have receding hairlines.
Why do you think we're doing this exercise, sir? Try to figure something out for the sake of you putting in the effort.
I don't have a fucking clue.
If you remove that ability to say those words, what's the next answer you give to why we can keep going forever?
Okay. What are we doing?
No. I'm the one leading the questions. Stop bullying me. Listen to my questions. Humble yourself. Let me have integrity. And the only way to stop the game is to tell me what we're doing. Until then, answer my fucking stupid questions.
We're answering
5 reasons why
questions.
5 reasons why people's breath stink.
You're giving reasons?
Everything I'm asking is about the reasons.
Okay.
5 reasons why people's breath stink.
I just told you a second ago. Would you like me to repeat it?
That's why I asked it. 5 reasons.
It's very confusing now. Now I'm just confusing.
Like, it's 5 reasons why people's breath stink. Nothing about that is confusing except.
Okay, I'll repeat them again then.
No, different ones.
Gingivitis, gangrene, a rotten tooth.
Cool. 5 reasons why blonde girls. 5 reasons why blonde girls are considered stupid.
Because they're stupid. They're blonde. They have vaginas. They're white.
5 reasons why fat people have titties.
Because glycomas, whatever the fuck that illness is with your titties. Fat. Sugar. More fat.
5 reasons why prostitutes charge so much money.
Depending on the prostitute.
Go
Some
ahead.
of them charge more, some of them charge less.
Go answer the question I'm asking.
They have bills to pay. They're single mothers.
No willingness to guess why I'm playing this game.
Jesus Christ, I don't know.
I didn't ask you to know. I asked you to guess and possibly get it wrong.
I already did. I guess already. You telling me no. You was like, no.
Well, let's keep going until you decide to have the balls to guess. We're going to keep going forever for no fucking reason, and you're wasting your time.
Okay.
So why do you think we keep playing this game called Reasons?
Because we're trying to find out the reason for things and why people do them.
Because
I
there's
said that earlier.
Because there's always fucking reasons. Always reasons. And
I said that earlier.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you
I
didn't.
I said, is it because reasons? And then you was like,
Nigga,
no,
you never
5
said
reasons.
that. So the point of it, my friend, is to show you that there's always reasons. Always. That doesn't have to make them the reasons why you sacrificed on your integrity. There's always going to be reasons.
I really like your tone right now.
Huh?
I said, I really like your tone right now.
I really want you not to cut me off because maybe this is that thing that you heard that might make a difference with why you sacrifice on yourself. Because if this concept of you overcoming your isolation and your depression is ever going to change, I have to deal with 35, 6, 7, 8, whatever the fuck you are, years of habits that you no longer even realize why you choose what you choose. But I need you to notice your unwillingness to play games when you are not the one in control. I need you to realize your unwillingness when it's something outside of what you do normally. And I just need you to notice that you are second to you, maybe third, fourth to you. And that's not okay, because if you decide that, then why be in pain of isolation and depression if you're the creator? Why say it hurts? Why not like it if you're choosing it? That's like cooking dinner and bitching while you're eating. Wouldn't you figure out how to cook better?
I'm trying to.
Right. Why are you not trying to keep your word more for you? That's all. Something to think about, because the exercise is supposed to show you that intellectually you're always outsmart whatever you find important and answer the question. They're nonsense. Reasons will always be there. The decision and the responsibility, the leadership and the integrity is never going to be there until you relearn how to perform correctly. Because you're going to make it what was as a child, or whatever it was that it came, wherever you learned it's okay to sacrifice you, you're going to always get faced with that next decision to make with you sacrificing you as a possibility.
Okay.
So until you intellectually understand that you're no longer willing to face the pattern the way you face the pattern, because the patterns are making you isolated and depressed, it's never going to change for you, and you deserve it to change. It's not fair that I'm depressed and what made me okay for this week was just the fact that I had a job after not having a job for so long. Because I know for a fact that now I have to start all over again, and I feel my chest getting back to disgusting, my gut coming back, and I have to start all over again when my goal was to be in the best shape of my life. But I'm not depressed and I'm not miserable. All I am is a big sack of shit that's not living to the best of my ability. I thought I'd be dead a long time ago. So the fact that I'm still alive makes me sad that I didn't care about me more. So I'm trying to care about me more now. But it sounds stupid when I sacrificed it just because I'm tired. And yours is worse than mine. So just because you had bills to pay, it's the same. Oh. But it's not okay, because I'm not even willing to play it because you're okay with it. So I'm not trying to make it a joke for you. I'm trying to just remind you that you could have went to the gym and kept your word and figured out a way to sacrifice the bullshit that you're doing. You could have figured it all out. You have the potential to figure it all out. You chose not to because of a habit, not because of your worth. That's all. So no, fuck you, you motherfucker, you. The fact that I hope you're not beat up, and I hope you realize that I only have a short amount of time to get like what could be considered like a full 5 days worth of drowning in misery type lessons to get you to realize it all. There's so many exercises that this is supposed to have so that you could realize that you're the master of your fate, captain of your soul, and how habits kick in. But we intellectualize the habits by saying failure, life sucks, we justify it because we're not willing to face the fact that something a long time ago said it was okay. So now that it's not okay, why is it okay this week and last week it wasn't? If you play back the recording, watch the video of when the gym became an epiphany that you actually enjoyed it. People said, hi, this was a nice environment. And then you, because of something else.
And I'll be back next week, ready to go. I was focusing on my shit this week.
Yes.
Hey.
And the consistency might be a big healing point for your habitual isolation.
If you don't scream, I can't hear you now.
And consistency is going to be what helps you forget the constraints of the past. So you can be miserable moving forward. You'll forget the misery that doesn't feel so miserable no more because it's normal. If you're suffering to make the gym happen for 15 minutes and food happen and you have the bills and all these things, you'll just learn how to better plan and prepare instead of what you don't even realize is a habit of sacrificing for the things that show up every month. Bills. Finances should not be the reason why you throw yourself under the bridge. And then you said something like, oh, I'm going to do some extracurricular activities, which implied a bunch of shit that afterwards you're going to say, I need to stop doing that.
No.
Cool.
Because those extracurricular activities are like buying myself a couple of things, paying my bills, things like that nature.
Wonderful. So I'm just adding the one component that seems to be the biggest hindrance in your life right now, which is the reminder that you're working on not being so isolated and depressed. And it doesn't mean that people have to be around you. It just means that you enjoy your own company. And then the rest will happen once the rest of the people start to see what you see about you. But I can't, I'm a horrible friend if I can't get you to see what it is about you that you could actually be with. So isolation and depression become a little less powerful just because of what you said in the intro, having conversations like these. What you did in this conversation was make these conversations pointless. And you didn't want these conversations to ever be pointless. That's all I'm reminding you for. And then when you go back to you're right.
But I don't feel like that they were pointless. We got the
It was.
Does it constantly have to be at a peak all the fucking time?
No, nobody said anything about a peak. We just.
I mean, that's kind of what it sounds like
to you because it's all or nothing for you.
No, the reference was that the conversation shouldn't be met like with less, not intensity, but with less intention, right?
Right.
So then that would mean that it would always be at a peak by always going and doing the right kind of thing and this and the other, right?
No, nobody said nothing about peak.
By peak, all right, let me not use the word peak then. By then, I mean a consistent upward scenario.
Yeah.
And yay! Right, but this was not one of the weeks.
Every day is either you're going up or you're going down. And if you have a cup full of clear liquid and you spent years dropping black liquid in it, you have no clue the amount of time it takes to clarify this cup of liquid. The moment you put one drop, the shit gets black as fuck. The moment you could pour water for days, and it's so much harder to undo what's done than to redo it and start all over again. Without consistency, this cup is going to be as dark as it was when you started.
I mean, that sounds cute, but
I can give you less cute analogies, which is in 5 years from now, if you went about, because you did this all by yourself, without me in your life, without these conversations in your life, you're up and down and inconsistent and sometimes have good days and sometimes have bad days. And then at the end of the year, it wasn't a good year. You're basing it on current, what was more good or more bad. Like you're not the one in charge. I'm just reminding you that you're the one in charge. And you could have had it all. There's no peak. You would have suffered anyway for the right reasons instead of the way you're suffering, which is where it don't hurt because you're used to it.
I mean, this week didn't really like annoy me. I was focused and I was,
That's not healthy because what should have annoyed you or shouldn't avoid you was your goal, which is to minimize the isolation and the depression. And I'm without listening to the professionals saying that you have to first start with making yourself proud, which is why we discussed there's nothing wrong, you never failed, and everything's fine. It just no longer works for you. And now I have to fight to remind you that it didn't work for you so that it doesn't work for you again because you're trying to convince me that it works. And it never does because you said so. I'm not important. What your words were, this no longer works for me and I want to do something about it. This week, because of a reason, you didn't practice what you wanted for yourself.
I didn't say that specific. I didn't say those words. This no
I
longer
am
works for me
because of the actions. You're not going to be.
You're saying that because of my actions. That's what message I sent to you.
That's what message you sent to you and me.
Okay.
The
I didn't get that memo, but okay.
You don't have to get the memo because you are just because your brain didn't see. Because the inner dialogue inside your head is not factual. We agree about that or not? Yet.
I don't know. I feel like
it's not a fact. You can argue with me all you want, cool, but I'm telling you it's not a fact. When you discover it, you'll go, you were right, my fault. This is something I'm telling you, that voice inside your head is not who you are, that's who you were.
It sounds like me because I'm talking to my brain, so...
That doesn't make any sense, sir. Your decisions are you, and then the way you fight...
But you're saying that the voice inside of my head is not me.
That's not you.
Sounds like then there's a foreign entity there that is giving me that outlook or that ability.
It is amazingly intelligent for you to call it a foreign entity, because until you see it as a foreign entity, you're going to allow it to...
that's what you're making it sound like as well.
Yes, I'm great. Wonderful that you articulated it as a foreign entity, because when you find it to be a foreign entity, your words will mean more.
Okay.
But right now, the word you want it to mean is that it's he might be right. He might be wrong. It doesn't make any sense because it feels like it's me. It's supposed to feel like it's you. That's the trick.
I love the character you get into. You go, get this sound.
It's really important for you to understand that the only thing that's you is your ability to practice keeping integrity in your life. Because at the end of the day, you look back on the results that those things produced for you. All of it is empty and meaningless, homie. I'm not trying to make anything you feel bad or good or any of it. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. At the end of the day, you die and everything you remembered is gone. Because it isn't real. What's real is your decisions and the way they manifest in your life. Not the intellectualizing version of whatever the fuck is in there. Because once you die, it's gone completely. Because it's never been real. You just find it real because it makes sense of your day-to-day autopilot. So you don't have to exhaustingly keep choosing at 38 years old. That's why it's hard. That's why phrases like it's hard to teach an old dog new trick, because that voice inside your head makes decisions for you so fast that the annoyance of making decisions in spite of what's here is exhausting for older people. The more life you have, the more voice is there inside your head. When you're a kid, you don't have that voice because it's never been real. You only have that voice as you get older, so you can make what's called snap decisions and slice decisions, where you take a piece of something and then you'll figure out the rest of it. It's kind of like when you notice, I don't know if you notice it, but you ever read the first two words first two letters of a word and then assume the rest of the word? That's called slice thinking, where your intelligence, your deductive reasoning kind of tries to guess it for you. Based on the past experiences, it says, this is what I saw before. Same with decision making. This is what I've done before. This is what I've done before. If you want something new, you can't do what's already in there because all you're doing is recycling what was there.
Okay.
So in order for this voice to not have any power anymore, it needs to respect the fact that you said something. So that when you say something, what's going to happen once you decide to change, for real, once you, like I said before, once you decide to get sober, the universe is going to provide you with get highs. And you have to really keep your word. Once you decide to stay faithful, every reason in the world to cheat comes up because the universe is a fucked up thing. The moment you decide to make changes, something else is going to be more important than the reason for your change. There's always going to be reasons. What changes and makes differences is when you make a promise and keep your word by any means necessary. You're an asshole. No problem.
I mean, you're right. What do you want me to tell you? Like,
I want you to get it because you matter. And not just intellectually get it like I'm arguing with you as if this is a debate up for like question. This isn't up for a question. Your goal was to work on something that we're not working on but still talking. So you
we are talking
cancel
about
this
it.
meeting.
We are talking about it.
Are you letting this sink in or are we just using words?
No, I'm thinking about it. I mean, you know, I'm here.
Yes. You are here.
Next week is gonna be another week, and it's gonna be like, yeah, fuck yeah.
If we die tomorrow, next week's never gonna happen, and you should.
That is true though.
We left.
I'm San Gennaro feast. I don't gotta worry about no bills.
And no closer to happiness and lack of whatever the fuck else you wanted to work on. Stop making jokes about how important this shit is for yourself. Saint Gennaro's feast. Yes, we're going there tomorrow. Did you watch the debate?
Nope.
Why does everybody care about that?
I don't give a fuck. I don't want to give a fuck. I don't really care.
Either. But I don't understand why people that don't look like they give a fuck all of a sudden start talking about stupid shit.
It's fucking dumb.
I don't know if it's dumb, but I don't really care.
It's really dumb. They from the summing up from the things that I saw, all they did was just throw shit back and forth at each other on some like rap battle beef shit. None of them touched on any actual things that they were gonna do with the politics, and it was just like they're eating dogs.
I don't get that. I don't understand that.
No, he's saying that because there's been like there's this picture roaming around about a gentleman going around and killing geese. So like he fucking instead of having to buy food and shit, nigga, there's a fucking give me that.
That's why he said they're eating dogs. Oh, in Idaho or someplace, Ohio. There you go, Ohio.
Then there was another case too of a lady fucking eating a cat. So I guess that's where he was. His team I guess had referenced that to him.
Did you hear the news about the shooting in that school?
Nope.
There was a kid that was like 11, 12 years old, maybe older, but let's say young. I think he was in middle school, but he might have been in high school. He shot up his school and killed like 5 people. They arrested his
Welcome
father.
to America.
They arrested his father.
Where is he?
What do you mean?
Where's the kid?
In jail now.
Oh, so they arrested him and the father.
The father for making him the way he is, and the kid for holding him accountable for what he did.
Did the father train him to be that person?
Yes.
To then go but train him in as in like what made him like racist and
just made him angry and wanted to kill because the father called him soft and treated him rough and bought him guns instead of toys.
Oh, nice. That's a nice it's a nice concoction right there. Like, hey, you're a piece of shit. Here's a gun, motherfucker. Like, whoa.
So since his brain will never outdo that and he'll always think that's appropriate, they put the father in jail because they ruined a human being who thinks that voice inside his head will always be a truthful thing and will never change. Because when he was building the person he is...
Luckily, I'm not fucking there.
Really? Because we're having a conversation about you shooting up a school. But it's not a big deal because next week you're going to class and I'm going to do my work. I'm going to do all my homework.
Wait, what?
You just shot up a school because your autopilot justified what training...
Hold the fuck up. How did this turn around that I shut up a school?
Because what you just did is the equivalent.
What? Hold the fuck up. Hold up. How are we comparing me not going to the gym to shooting up a school?
Because the father was arrested for the autopilot that he's trained his son to have.
Holy shit. I'm mad you said that. I'm mad you really said that.
A fact. You could chuckle all you want. I'm telling you,
This shit is hilarious. All right.
how is it hilarious when you've lived a life of
Because my brain does not know how to compute that. Saying comparing the fact that I didn't do certain things, it's as comparable as a kid going to a school and shooting up a school.
How? If it's the same autopilot that allowed him to decide to do what he did and an immature brain at that age, but it's the autopilot that was taught to him to have. The scars from his childhood led to him making an irrational.
Well, I'm gonna say one thing: my fucking autopilot definitely isn't working on a level where I'm gonna be like, oh hey, I'm gonna go and like massacre a bunch of fucking people and shit. Like I
think
might put myself down in scenarios, yeah, but I'm
you
not gonna go
think it's
fucking commit
different?
a murder. What the hell?
There's no difference. The way it feels is
Are
the
we
way.
comparing murder to eating a cheeseburger now?
No, I'm comparing depression to depression.
Okay.
How it manifests is irrelevant. They feel the same to the individual. If I had a client that was a millionaire, like I had a client at the beginning of my career that was very difficult for me. His parents gave him 40 grand a month, and then one day stopped and gave him 5 grand a month. And he was traumatized, wanted to kill himself, became an addict. The courts mandated he seek counseling, and I couldn't give a fuck because I'm like, nigga, that's not trauma. The fuck? You still make 6 figures a year. I had to learn that trauma is trauma. A finger up his ass and him finding love through 40 grand a month, like him feeling love through the 40 grand a month and then turning it into 5, but him never learning how to be a man, him never learning how to take care of himself. They both feel the same to him. There's no difference in what it does to your brain if it's beaten and rape and the way he's experiencing his life. They're
I
both
don't
the
know.
same.
I would say that I'm sure that there's ground to that, but at the same time, we could both be in the same scenario, but I'm not fucking thinking about like what that this child is thinking about, or not even saying that, just like other self-hurting or other whatever, or pushing it to a threshold where I'm hurting myself or others.
You don't have to. That's why I went to school for that, and I'm telling you what was the culmination of my education.
No, but I get where you're saying. We're like, all right, cool. If we're both uh in a foundational way, we both are suffering of the same issue, right? And you're saying that regardless of the spectrum of how it manifests, it's still the same underlining issue. But okay, but at the same time, it's not manifesting on a level where it's coming out of control and moving in that nature.
Yes, it is. You're
I
just
don't see
saying
that.
that, huh?
I don't see that.
That's why we're talking, because you don't yet see it. But I'm telling you, part of the reason why we have a trusting relationship is so that I can bring what I have to the table and you can bring what you have to the table. Entertain me enough instead of instinctively disagreeing to just value the expert that you're speaking to understand that what he did and what you're doing are the exact same thing because they come from the same place. So that's just an example of what it looks like so that you can understand the extremities when it's not you, where you're numb to it, where it doesn't hurt you. Because that kid will defend his dad to the end because that's the loving relationship he had and didn't understand it to be the consequences of his killing 5 people and being in jail for the rest of his life. Just like you're not going to understand and it become the isolation and the reason for your depression for the rest of your life. They're both self-imposed prisons that are justified by somebody else's act. He just happens to be young enough where we found a culprit, which is the father, not him. And in normal world, he wouldn't even been tried as an adult because that voice inside your head is not in fact who he is. Since science understands that that voice is not who he is, he wouldn't have been charged as a kid, as an adult. The difference is life today is desensitized to it, and they're like, fuck it, just give him a consequence, nobody cares. In this conversation, we care. So to bring
I
it
love
to
how
life,
how you think I'm gonna have like an epiphany right there, like
no, you're not going to have a visual example. So
okay.
you can understand what it looks like so that when I give up, it'll be where we're giving up. It's not just me. And you can't feel bad that somebody else gave up on Fayez. Since in reality, it's us giving up on you. You're still my man. Everything's still peace. But what would be the point if it's not a point for both of us? Just like the rest of society is saying, what's the point if there's no point? I'm just reminding you that there's a point. I'm not trying to celebrate anything except for my promise, which is to entertain the conversation because that's what you wanted. I'm not going to be okay with you justifying it in the incorrect way because there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just reminding you it don't work. So in 10 years from now, if you continue to do the exact same thing and starting over, there have been no progress and you wanted progress. That example that's happening in life is that everybody's so desensitized and no one's accountable that it's okay to punish the person that was trained by somebody inappropriate. So it becomes an issue because now instead of not trying him as a kid and trying him as an adult, very rarely they're trying somebody who just raised them, didn't shoot, didn't kill, but he's now a co-defendant in somebody else's decision because they're trying creative ways to get people to change their psyche. So for a while, when kids weren't able to get the same amount of trouble, hood niggas would get kids below a certain age. So if they got in trouble, they'd be tried as kids. They found ways to overcome that and make adults responsible to raise their kids somewhat by allowing them to understand, I'm going to treat your kid like an adult when he fucks up. Society can that's why they don't have certain things like the death penalty, not because it's a bad idea, but because sometimes it's not fair. Sometimes it's wrong. Sometimes it's always justified, but sometimes it's inappropriate because it could have been a better solution. That's why you have to make it illegal because there's extreme cases. Make it where it's not okay because of those rare extreme cases. We're not even at an extreme rare case. It's okay for any reason to sacrifice. So I'm just reminding you of what's happening in all of society, how you don't want that to be your reality. That's all. So without any make wrong, I'm not trying to make you wrong. I'm just trying to have you understand that it's not your fault. Why you're isolated and depressed, people want, the society at this moment wants it that way. My job right now is to kind of change the psychology of the medical industry to get back to work. So it's not you or this guy, this kid, or any one person. It's all of humanity at the moment changing the autopilot because it doesn't work and we fucked up. So the government is realizing that they changed the paradigm of how people see things and they're trying they just gave the medical industry $7.6 trillion to repopulate the population of the staff. And then at the beginning, when they first gave them 7.8 trillion, they realized that the money had schools just give out degrees. So now my job is to see what's a valuable education to allow people to absolutely absorb, because we only have 3 years. June 30 of 2027, we no longer have the 7.8 trillion. If we didn't spend it right, we owe it back. Does that make sense?
Okay. But yeah, we're about to finish this thing.
So anyway, the point is, this conversation is awesome because it was a minute before all of society got on board to want to change the inner dialogue that we're having. So now that everybody's on the same conversation, they're kind of following in our footsteps because we had the idea first.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great that you had that idea and the instinct is telling you the correct thing. I'm just reminding you to stick to it because it matters. That's all.
Okay.
We're ending it like that's it. Peace out.
Yeah, I just got a fucking text from the owner talking about I got to fucking pick up tomorrow morning. But it's like, dude, I've been waiting for you to like
owner of
hit
what?
me up all day and shit so that I can know if I'm gonna go do this shit tomorrow or not. But
With your work?
yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna see what's up because he kind of took a whole day to figure this shit out, and I'm supposed to just like, all right, cool.
You good?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Peace.
Later, bro.
Peace, man.